Hello.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you listen to us.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlethems.
Boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of
Shooting the shit with Beefy.
and Bobbie.
Bobby,
Yeah, Beefy.
where the hell are we right now?
We've never recorded here before.
Not only that, we've also never recorded outside.
Outside today, we are out in nature.
Our first on location episode, touching grass.
We are. I'm touching grass right now. Today we are at Stswbnb Golf Course, which is where the Homebrewed Theatre Company has made its home.
The origin location, location of origin, the stomping grounds, the birthplace.
Yeah, and today we have three very special guests with us here on the deck, in which they will be performing on in how long? In
like
almost
4 weeks.
almost a month.
That's
but-
scary.
Yes,
That's scary.
it is. But yeah, we've been rehearsing for the past month and a half. We've had a fundraiser. We've got another one coming up. And yeah, enough about that. The guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Who do we got?
I would like to welcome Heather Doyle, George Karolemeas, and Angelina Damiani. Woo!
Hey!
Fellow Dean Alumni
Yes.
now. We all just graduated in May. Mixed emotions across the board, but
Yeah.
overall, guys, how we doing?
I mean, good. It's nice to not be in school, to be more independent, but like also it's so weird because like we just gotta figure it out from here on out. Like there's no more school. Like when the fall hits,
There's nothing to
you're
go back
you're on
to.
your own.
Yeah.
Like,
Real life sucks.
yeah.
It's every day is just job searching, looking for new stuff,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's just nothing is certain, and I'm just scared.
It's just crazy because we've discovered that a lot of places, at least like where we're working, they're like not cutting hours, but they're just starting to, work
they're
less. They're
cutting hours.
they're cutting hours straight up,
Yeah.
and it's just like you gotta.
Don't say the name of the place, but
I
you can
won't.
say what they're doing.
I'm just like it's a lot. It's like harder to like just get into that workspace after now with like no school and everything, and we come here basically every night now, and do what we love, what we graduated for, and it's just great to do that. But like once the fall comes, it's like I think it's gonna hit way
Yeah.
harder, and we all know that.
like
Yeah.
the fall and winter season for the first time not being not going to school.
That's like nuts.
That's
know,
gonna be a.
It's like the first
an
time in like
adjustment.
20 years for
In
them.
literally
That's
20
crazy.
years,
Yeah.
we have been going.
Yeah, because we've had the American education system as a crutch for
God bless
the
America.
past.
Yeah, it's like the first time of September, just like not going back to school is gonna be really
Yeah.
weird, and
Mhm.
so now I'm just like looking for other theater jobs or looking for like a more
Mhm.
stable job with an income that I can actually live
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I'm sure, to have both the theater job and the job that helps pay for everything would probably be optimal.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, right.
but that's part of the grind. That's part of the
Yeah.
grind.
Yeah,
and
right.
I was actually just on another podcast. Shout out to Thank You Places. And talking about the grind and stuff, and coming out of school and being like, all right, what's the plan? What are we doing? So, why don't we go around and say,
no.
what are we
No.
doing? Because it's honestly, from my point of view, it's very beneficial hearing other people who are in the same position as me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And hearing that it's not just me, that I'm not the only one who's also like shitting a brick and being like, what the
Yeah.
fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
So Heather, why don't you kick us off?
So I am still working with Longhorn Steakhouse. I've been there 4 years now, which is
Good for you.
insane. But I'm thinking about maybe leaving. I think it might be time, but
Mhm.
I'm looking for jobs first so I can still have like that income and whatever.
Mm.
Staying home with my family, my dogs, for the next probably year or so.
Yeah.
Just looking for new jobs that with a stable income, and saving up money so I can move. I'd like to move to New York next summer, but
Yes.
gonna do some community theater back at home. Do any kind of theater that I can do on the outside of working. So that's really it for me right now.
You
But
got the goal.
yes,
You got the goal.
I've got the
You
goal.
got
I'm
the
working.
plans.
I'm
You're working toward it. That's the most
Exactly.
important thing. 'Cause
Yeah,
if
and
you
I'm
don't have that, then what do you feel like you're working towards?
And
Where's the reward?
I'm trying to keep everything high, emotions, like hopes, goals,
Right.
everything
Mhm.
high, and try not to let myself down or like
Yeah.
let myself feel bad
Toxic
about things.
positivity. If you
Exactly.
gotta do it. You gotta
That's
have
the only
toxic
way.
Positivity.
Gotta gaslight yourself.
Gaslight yourself.
But you will be playing a lead role in the
Yes.
upcoming production of Daughters with Daggers. You excited, nervous, all the feelings?
I'm feeling everything, I think. I was walking into this because I was in Daughters last year, and I was an ensemble pirate,
Hell
and this
yeah.
year stepping in as Jean Belmare is just, it was a lot because it's been played by 2 other actresses, and so we've all got our own thing coming to it. I'm trying to do my research still on like what she was like the
Mhm.
first 2 years, but also bring what I have to this role. It's been a little weird too because we haven't really had like a lot. I feel like the sisters and some of the other leading characters haven't had as much rehearsal, so I feel like now we're
Yeah.
finally getting into it. So we're finally setting into those roles. So it's gonna be more exciting from here on out. But like it's been a lot of fun so far, and I hope that I can pull her off and present this new Jean to everybody within the next month.
I have no doubts.
you got it.
Personally,
Yeah,
I
you
have no
got it.
doubts. If you missed Pippin and
Oh
you
my
didn't
God.
see Heather
my
as
God.
one of the leading players,
It was so
oh, you
Yeah,
missed out.
right.
Stop.
Oh, you missed out. But I have 100% faith that you're gonna do a great job as
Thank
always.
you. Thank you.
And also, sorry to point this out, we've known each other for what? 4
4
plus
years, yeah.
now. I'm just picking up on an accent now. I don't know.
Ah!
I don't know if that's just me, but I just picked up on that. So I
Wow,
sorry,
that's
I just wanted
crazy.
to point
I
that
don't
out.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been told I have an accent, but I guess because I'm like trying to actually speak eloquently and like for this podcast
Yeah.
that it's like coming out now.
Hey, I just think it's funny that if you had it, I never noticed it.
funny.
4 years later.
All good.
All right, up next, George.
Hey. So yeah, like we all said, we all graduated, obviously, but theater is so like there's so many different fields of it, and I know like at Dean we had the stage stuff, and we had like the smallest amount of behind the camera stuff, and I really want to go do movies. Like that's my
Yeah.
goal eventually
Yeah.
is to be like TV show, movie star, whatever it is. But so for now, obviously we're doing this show. And come the fall, we were planning on moving to Chicago for a year.
Ooh.
And, with that being said, like, we had to move it back a few months, which is okay because,
Yeah.
save the money.
Mhm.
I'm working for said corporation that makes coffee, the non-New England one.
It's a great
And I
one.
love it. I do love it. I love where I'm
The
working
LA
right now.
Seattle
based,
version.
The LA
Seattle.
coffee company.
barista. But I do love it, and I obviously it doesn't pay everything, but I love doing it, and I would love to have my own shop one day. That's just like a little side
Aw.
thing.
That's so
I
cute.
just love doing that. I've worked in the food business for like 3+ years now, so it's just something that I've always enjoyed on
Do
the
you
side.
like coffee? Do you?
I
drink
love coffee. I
Yeah.
drink it all the time. Trying to cut back right now because someone told me that I might be too addicted to caffeine. So what?
Who said that?
I'm kidding. It's not too much of an addiction, but still. Anyway, I do love coffee. If you give me a new one, like I'm just kidding. Starbucks has this new one with oil, and it's really good. It's so weird that it's good.
What is it?
It's made with
It's
they make it
olive
with
oil.
virgin olive oil.
Yeah.
Beefy's-
I saw them
Beefy's too
like,
stunned to
promoting
speak.
that, and it
It's like
looks.
it's like an Italian.
You've never
Are we
had it?
putting lard in milkshakes now? Like, what?
Listen, as somebody who doesn't drink coffee fast, it immediately is gonna separate like before you can finish.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let the two baristas
let the
explain it.
baristas- could
Go
you-
ahead. Wait a
could
minute.
you,
So-
explain.
So it is like based on like an Italian coffee. Like people put olive oil in their coffee, and I think it's supposed to help with like
Yeah,
digestion
so-
because it like coats the lining of, so it helps It's more of like
They compared it to like a keto diet in a way.
kind of.
And I guess a few years ago, people were putting butter in their coffee. So it's like the same
they
thing.
were.
I remember
was like-
that. Well, actually, yeah.
And it's like, sounds weird, but I promise you, it's not as bad.
I'd say I think the only thing like is if you get the foam with the olive oil in
Yeah, that one's-
it. I'm not saying it's bad. It tastes great. It
Yeah.
just the smell is
Interesting.
off-putting.
Like, if you don't
I
like
think
the
that's
smell of
only
oil, right?
thing,
Yeah.
Is like the oil's just off-putting. Like the smell of it. The taste isn't bad.
Well, like, I had
I
the
like the
opportunity.
taste.
Right, me too. Like, I had the opportunity to sample them at the stores. And I had to make like our own other than the 3 that are on the menu.
Mm.
And my friend made like a Honey Nut Cheerio
Oh.
tasting one.
Whoa.
It was really good. Like, it's weird that it tasted that good, but I don't know. I don't think it's that bad, and it does separate quickly. But if you love like olive oil, like you're gonna like the drink. I don't know how to explain it. It's just
I-
way to put it.
Yeah,
I do-
like if
I do
you
have-
like olive oil, you're gonna like this
You
coffee.
want to chug olive oil.
I do have
for you.
a funny
just do
story
say
about the
beware.
other day though. Like, I did have a lady come in and ask for it, and I said sure thing, and she was telling me that she used to work for Starbucks, and I was like, okay, like that's great and all. Like, what would you like? And she's like, like I'll take that one. And I said sure thing. It comes with oat milk, and she's like, no. I want regular people milk. Like, don't give me none of
Regular
that
people
non-human milk. I said, non-human milk.
What?
I'm like, miss, it's not even
Like,
human milk.
we're
It's
not
cow
even-
milk.
We're not supposed
Yeah.
to even drink that. What are you
I was like,
talking
what are you
about?
talking about?
Exactly.
And she just said like I used to work for the company, like I know all this stuff, and I was just like, okay, like, you know, the typical customer you get that you're like,
Right.
this is annoying. And I was like, it comes with the lighter espresso, it kicks a little bit more, and she's like, no, give me like the adult espresso. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm not dealing with this, so I made her the drink, and she left.
Dull
But-
espresso.
It's so ridiculous. Like, you deal with these things every day, and like you gotta love a job to stick with it.
Right.
You
Sure,
everyone
for
knows
sure.
that. So, you know, doing that for now is fine. And then Chicago, when we go there, because I work for Starbucks, you can transfer anywhere. So like that will work out if nothing else takes off. I mean, I stream video games on Twitch on the side.
Plug your,
gonna
plug
do
your
it
Twitch
later.
channel.
Sizzling Toast, twitch.tv/Sizzling Toast.
Yes.
I'll be playing Dead by Daylight later tonight. I don't know. It's every week it's random. But anyway,
If you're playing later, I'll pop in.
yeah, let's do it. No, so like literally just do that on the side. Like, that's fun and all, but like I don't really see that as I want to make money off of that. That's just kind of fun. Like, I do that as for
Yeah.
fun anyway. So that's a whole thing in itself that everyone tries to
You
you know
gotta
start
keep
doing.
yourself sane.
It's like nuts. You have to deal with people
You
like
gotta-
every.
yeah.
Oh, like that's a different type of like. Yeah, forget the lady that told me human milk, please. Like, you gotta deal with people telling you to like die and like all this like annoying stuff. Well, what? It's the internet. It's so bad. It's just like really scary. So I mean, Chicago will be fun. Hopefully, you know, it will work out. I wonder if like what the filming industry is like compared to over here, because I know over here it's starting to ramp up. And like I'm in a Facebook group that has like all these filming things. Like, we know Mike,
Yeah.
who just like shot his his film that he's been working on for years. So yeah, I mean, Lena's gonna say the similar thing with Chicago, but my goal is to be in the movies eventually. So yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Cool.
Lena, what are you doing?
Right now I'm working at a retail place. That is fine, I guess.
Me too.
But the issue is, like we were talking about, I'm literally maybe getting scheduled 8 hours a week.
Me too.
And that's just like become a thing where everybody's like, oh, let's hire people. And then they just aren't scheduling people. So now I'm trying to look for another job on top of that. But like availability is weird because of like, I can't work nights because we're rehearsing for
Right.
this. And like, I'd much rather be here anyway, rehearsing for the show. But so yeah, I'm just working retail, and then I'm here playing Anne Bonny, which is crazy.
Ooh,
Because
new
I've never
character.
ever in my life gotten the opportunity to play like a kind of villain character, so that's fun. I'm always like the one that's like the innocent, like everything bad happens to them character, so it's fun to be on the other side of things. And like
Bart Simpson.
yes,
spirited
here
little
I
stab.
am always.
Oh man, we have Bart and we have
Yeah,
Mr.
we're
Burns.
back together.
And-
Reunion of the century.
Yeah, the reunion.
Listen, if y'all want to fight, I got swords in the car.
Oh.
I have mine.
Ooh.
Oh, oh, but yeah, it's fun. I mean, I absolutely love doing stage combat. I like Heather and
my God,
George
it's so
have
much
been
fun.
in Daughters. Like, I was also in the ensemble. I've done shows with Homebrewed like during their winter season too. But I'm excited to be more of like a featured fighter because it's just so fun and like
Mm-hmm.
also selfishly like reels.
Yes.
Like I want
Yes.
videos
Yep.
of myself
Valid,
fighting.
valid.
But like,
Bobby, I need all of
man,
them.
trying to look
Mhm.
for things to audition for, I everything that I look for, I missed by like a week. I'm
Oh my
like,
God,
oh,
same.
please.
That's why I
I'm-
hate like Actors Access
It's
backstage. Like
awful.
they show stuff from like months ago.
Yeah,
I'm
like they're
Months
well, this
ago.
is
fine, but like
pointless to me
take
now.
them
Or,
off
like-
when you find it.
Or it's like
Exactly, yeah.
you do like the advanced search and I'll do like New England.
Right.
But then
Mhm.
the issue with that is I'll get things for New Jersey that it's a stipend $200. I'm like, I'm going to spend
Not
more
worth
money getting myself there than what I'd be
Mhm.
making. So like it's hard because like I want to be in things and I know that things aren't a lot of money, but it's also like where am I going to draw the line of what's worth it and what's not.
Right.
So like that's been kind of weird to try and figure out. But then yeah, I also want to go to Chicago. Andrew Gallant, who was on the podcast, he lived in Chicago for forever.
Yes. Love that man.
So we've been talking to him a lot about just like places to live, where's the best place to be. He's talked about like his studio green shirt that he has down there and like helping us get classes and stuff where we don't have to pay too much. But yeah, I just want to go. I want to see what happens. Not for long, not permanently, but there's a lot of auditions out there where you don't have to be an equity member to audition for like national touring things,
That's nice.
where you can get seen for things when you can't in New York. So like it will just be cool to be able to get seen there.
And it itself is its own like scene.
It's
like,
its own
it's
scene.
its own.
And just like to be able to
Yeah.
rack
Yeah.
up, like just if somebody's like, I'm doing a staged reading of this, yeah, I'll come and do a staged reading. Like I would absolutely
They
love
don't.
to do something like that. I just think it's so cool to hear original work out. Like
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I really like being a part of Homebrewed too, because it's
Yeah.
all original work. So getting to like try something for the first time, knowing that we're the first presented is a really cool
Mhm.
type of thing. That's kind of what I'm doing though. Maybe I'll teach like choreograph kids. I love working with kids. But like that's the other thing, like trying to find a job that I can have here but know that I'm going to leave it
Yeah,
by like
exactly.
January is hard because I
I've been
can't
trying to find, like, a
establish
remote
myself.
job that way,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
like most of them are like you have to live in that state, and I'm like, well, I can't live in New York right now. That's why I need the
Right.
job.
Well, don't say remote if you have to be local. Yeah, but it's like just trying to find something that's like not permanent, but also isn't just like retail standing at a register because
Yeah.
I'm qualified to do more. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what's going on right now.
Like I said, you know, like wherever you are right now, that is like that's your hustle.
Yeah.
That's your you know the what was the word that I used? The hustle. You know, like it's
The grind.
The grind.
The
yeah,
moneymaker.
right. It's you know you are working towards your goals for this art that
Mhm.
we do. So regardless of what that starting position is, you know, because we all came from the same spot, but
Yeah,
wherever,
for real.
wherever your quote unquote starting position is, you know, that is your push to get where you want to be, and I think that's more than others can say. That's
Yeah.
more others
Yeah.
can say. So.
And you know, not for nothing, but I have worked with all three of you on this stage, and you
Yep.
know, working with y'all again this summer. And God, you're all going so far. We're all
Thank
going
you.
great
Oh, thank
places.
you.
And if you guys go to Chicago, I'll fly. I'll meet you out there. I'll come see your show you're doing.
I have family out there, so I can.
Hey,
I see you guys.
I also have family out
I
there
don't,
that
but, like-
nobody's ever told me about, so that's fun.
Surprise.
And I can't say I
I
do.
don't either.
Everyone, yeah, no, me either. But you know, it's just I'm really excited to see where we all go because
Yeah.
you know we're really
too.
just starting the journeys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is really great to start it all, you know, together at Dean, and then you know for you know others of us to come here to Homebrewed is really
Yeah.
really great. And it's just it is a really great place for us to you know not to be you know it's a great place for us to work our craft.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
W.
W.
I said it. But yeah, I'm so excited to be working with y'all again this summer, and y'all are already crushing it. I'm
Thanks.
very excited for you guys to put on such a great show.
Thank you, Robbie, for being
Mhm.
my stage manager for every show I've done in my collegial 4 years.
Oh my god.
That's
Doing,
so good.
Robbie's been my stage manager for all 3 daughters and then Pippin. So it's
Oh
like
my god.
Yeah.
working with him's been awesome.
You're one of the only like original
Yeah, because Luke didn't do it
daughters
last year.
who've been in all
Mhm.
3 that like
Made
are
my
now
way
a
up.
character.
Gotta say.
Yeah, like.
Like-
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah. I never
crazy.
said. I'm playing
Oh,
squash.
right, yes.
Sorry,
Yeah.
playing squash. Brother of Butternut, son of Lorenz,
DeGraff.
half siblings of Jean and Eloise and Marie. Yeah, fighting duo. I love stage combat. Like I
Mhm.
remember Jim giving me the call for that on Teams, because we were all on Teams, my first semester Dean. And I was just like, I don't know. And then Angie's behind me, and she's like, you better do that. Like, we're literally sitting at home. You better do that. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. The best decision ever. So, yeah, thanks, Robbie.
You're so welcome. Buddy.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and just going off of that and thinking about other things that we all have in common, we're all fight trained.
Yep.
Which
Yeah.
is
We all took
very
stage
cool.
combat with Jim Borgard.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, shout out Jim.
Easily one of like top 5 classes I took at DU.
I
If-
think
if
that
not-
was
if
my
not,
favorite
the
class.
best.
That
100%.
semester was like a packed and loaded semester, and I loved it. But like, stage combat was probably
I
my
liked
favorite
having it
class.
in the
Even like a
morning.
9:30
Mhm.
Yeah.
stage combat class, it was fine. I was like, I get to get up, go exercise, and
Yeah,
have
get
fun.
up, get that workout in.
Like
That's
it was
true.
great.
And we get breakfast before. I remember Delaney.
And I had stage combat on my birthday, so like Kelsey and I went and got
Yeah.
Starbucks and then went to stage combat. It was
Oh,
great.
fun.
Yeah.
That's
fun.
nice.
Man, we had combos together like the whole semester.
Yeah,
and
we had
David
our-
and I. But that was the fun thing too, because like Lena said with the reels, like those you can I have those on my website right now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
like,
eventually we can add these.
I need to add-
uploaded those.
I
I
have-
had them.
no,
I
I
had
need-
them from like the very first
okay,
ones.
so
I'm just,
I
like,
thought I had
updating.
updated my website like recently because of like
the class.
the
Senior
class
Showcase.
senior showcase. Yeah, because we had to update them. I looked at I haven't updated it since 2021.
Girl.
Girl. Click publish?
Brr.
Did you just and never
it's
click publish?
out there. It's just not updated, so I don't
Oh.
have any
Check out our
reels on there.
websites.
Don't go look at mine right now. Please, I'm gonna update it like today probably because I need to. But I was thinking about our last final combo for stage combat, and it was just like so much fun because we did it like in the Gidry. I think that
We
was
did in the
Yeah.
Gidry, and we did this like complicated combo, and I forgot it halfway through the fight. And you could see it in the video, but you can't tell if like, well, obviously now you guys know, but like you can't tell,
Yeah.
and it looks like it's a part of it.
everyone was like, "Oh, that was so funny," and I was like, "That's because he fucking forgot."
I was like,
Fucked up.
sorry, and Jim still gave us an A.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, so.
Robbie and I were in my backyard fighting with swords the other day.
Oh my
Like,
God.
I hadn't fought with swords in like how long? Because we took that class spring
22.
Almost a year ago.
Oh my god.
Yes,
yeah.
that
Like
was
a
like
year and
that was
change.
like me too, because I was like, we got back on stage for the first rehearsal,
Yes.
and I was
Yeah.
like,
Right.
I haven't fought since last summer, so I was like, I'm a little rusty.
Yeah. POV. Last summer, I did the show
is
and
funny.
I'd never taken stage combat. So Jim is
You
like
and Miles.
shouting out
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of these numbers for all of these sword positions. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing right now. And I had to learn it like choreography and not take it like so literal. So then I finally got to take it this past spring, and I was like, I get it. I get it now. I understand
Yes,
what
you-
we're doing.
Miles
you
came
were
to-
already that much more ahead.
Yeah,
though,
right.
Yeah.
Because you had to
Yeah.
learn like from like the ground.
Literally the
up.
ground. He said, here's the opening fight. You have today. I was like, oh, okay.
Miles showed up, and he was just like, hey, you want to be in it? And he was like, I guess so. And
Yeah,
threw him
yeah,
on the
Miles
stage.
Yeah,
came
Miles
to-
just showed
he
up
just
for
came
that
to a
first
rehearsal.
rehearsal, and he was just doing the all the warm ups with us, and then Jim
Yeah.
just threw him into the
Yeah.
choreography
Mhm.
and was like, okay, so now you're part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
So
is it's a very Jim thing to do.
Yeah.
You don't
It
hear
works,
numbers the
though,
same
hey.
anymore. You just hear
No,
one now,
no.
and you're like,
One.
check my watch.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Defend the thigh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So good.
it's starting to become second nature though, because
Yeah,
it's like
it is.
he like
Yes.
says a number, and I'm like, I know where the fuck I'm
And
going.
he could pounce on me, and I'd block it. I'm ready for it anytime. He's probably here right now.
Where is he?
Jim?
Where is
I
he?
know.
Where's the red truck?
If you call his name, he comes out of the
Oh
out of
my
the
God.
cracks.
Coming out from the woodwork.
Yeah.
But
Literally.
it's like it's the same way that like dancers can hear like da ba ba da da ba da ba da ba da,
Yeah.
and it's like but that with numbers.
Well, that's
you
what he
know?
said. Because when he asked me to do it last summer, I was like, Jim, listen, are you sure? Because I have no idea what I'm doing. And he was like, nah, you're a dancer. You can do it. And I was like,
It's
All
a
right.
dance.
Like, that's
It's dancing.
Yeah,
yeah, it really
literally
is
is.
Takes two
dancing.
to tango.
Hey, you're right. You're right.
I think that's why I fell into it so easily, because I like my background as a dancer, and so
Mhm.
when we got down to
Yeah.
it was like it was just flowing along with each step. So
Mhm.
then it's choreography. It's easy.
I mean, like David and I's, we've only there's a scene in this show where David and I fight each other like simultaneously for like 5 times in a row, and we've only done the first one, But even that is like we have to move specific ways and like slide, like
It's
our
so
feet
intricate.
glide, and it's
Yeah.
so intricate, and it's just so interesting and so fun to do.
And this is the show with the most fights, right? How many fights are in one?
19.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I believe of major fights it's 18, and then we have there's like 4 or 5 other smaller
Yeah.
fights in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, because last summer was
It was a lot of ensemble
14.
fight.
Yeah, last
last
summer
summer.
was 14, and I didn't count them. I don't remember the first number, the
Yeah.
first shows. But yeah, this is the most fights we've ever had. Which just means fight calls are going to be intense.
They're gonna be like an
We're gonna
hour
be called
and
like
change.
an hour and a half before.
But like,
Yeah,
what's
sorry
so
about that,
great
dude.
about this year, because like, so the first year, obviously George was in it, and I was a dance major. I still hadn't switched my major to musical theater, so I came and watched the show and was like, oh, this is great. So then to be in it, I was like, oh my god, I'm having such a good time right now. But then this year feels like the first year that characters are really just fighting characters
Yeah.
for the first time ever, which I think is also so cool because it's always been like huge ensemble fight,
I'm
and there
so
is a
ready-
bunch.
Yeah, I'm so ready for the like all girl fight.
But, it's
Like,
gonna be
That's
such
gonna
a
be a
good
great
time.
It's the 5 leading
Tuesday, I
ladies,
think we're
and
doing it.
then I think a couple ensemble girls, and it's gonna be so.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so awesome. Just woman power on the fucking stage.
And then like for Mia and Tess to fight George and David, like, are you kidding me? It's gonna be such a good time. Like, I'm just so excited to do that type of stuff.
And that's also, going back to what Heather said, girl power is that's what the
Yeah.
The show,
and
yeah.
the trilogy is all about. It's
Yeah.
about daughters with daggers. It's about the sisters, growing up because Lorenz was away and they didn't know where their mom was for a while. We found her.
She's
last-
back.
We found her last
we
summer.
found her.
She found us.
Yeah,
actually.
for
Yeah,
real.
she did find us somehow.
She said, you listen to me now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it's a really good story that not only should everyone see, but like it's
No, they should come. They need to come. see
that's
it.
yeah.
You don't have a
Not-
choice
not to
now.
downplay it.
It's a requirement.
What are the dates?
Yeah.
Yeah.
10, 11, 12, 17, 18, 19.
Yeah,
Yes,
the middle
that's
2 weeks
right.
of
Yeah.
August.
Yeah. But like I told Jim, like my sister came to see Mask On Pants Off,
Cool.
and I had mentioned that she wasn't able to come see Daughters 1 or 2, and he was like, Robbie, why didn't you get your sister to come see one of the most female empowering, most girl badass shows ever? And I was like,
Yeah.
it just didn't work out. I'm sorry. She'll be there this summer.
I was gonna say she got to be here for Daughters 3.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember the one night that we were at Andrew's house and we were reading the scene
Oh
where
my
the
God,
fight takes
yeah.
place.
Mm.
And we were just saying, this is like a multi-page scene with 5 females
Passes the
where
Bechdel
it has
test.
nothing to do with fighting about like a man. And there's no conflict like that. Like it's just,
I
does,
believe
it
the
does,
show
it
passes the
does.
Bechdel test.
It does.
do you know what I mean? Like it's just us like being powerful women and like that's all the scene is about, which is so
Yeah, because the entire
refreshing.
scene is just all girls, and we don't talk about any of the men. It's like about us
Yeah.
and like what's going on with us. So.
Yeah.
It's not just about love. It's about like
Mm-mm.
family.
Nope.
and,
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
Power.
I think the only
and-
mentions of love are literally between Marie and Eric.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's it.
And the words never dropped. So
No, it's the same 2 people that it's been though for
Yeah.
the entire
yeah,
3 shows, the series,
Yeah.
which is cool. It's
like
very
you can
cool.
tell. It's just it's not explicitly said.
Yeah.
hmm
But that's the best though.
Right,
That's when
exactly.
The audience is like, oh. and
Especially like it
Mhm.
draws out all across these 3 shows. It's like that burning love that you're like, oh, it's
You're like, just say it, just say it. Yeah,
But yeah.
it's fun. It's a really good. Andrew did a really good job with writing this one to
He
like
did.
Yeah.
everybody has a story because there's a lot of
and
characters in
there's
the
been
show.
some scenes added since our first rehearsal
Yeah.
that have like made it even more cohesive and
Yeah.
like just added some more depth to each character.
Yeah, it's very cool to see that there's this many characters and they all equally like
Yeah.
have a part and like a good amount of lines and everything's wrapped up really well by the end of it where you feel like content after the 3 shows
Mhm.
completely. It's very cool.
And I'm just, like you said, Andrew did such a good job writing this one. Where was I going with this? Sorry,
can't
I
start
had the
talking.
thought.
It's coming
and
back. It's
forget
coming
your
back
thought.
to you right now.
No, because one of you just said something about.
So many characters, bunch of scenes.
Yes. And going, because you said Andrew has added some scenes, and that's
Yeah.
another really cool thing about Homebrewed is that we have a writer in the room. We have a
Yeah.
resident
We have our
playwright with us.
in-house.
which is fantastic because that allows the director to just look back at the playwright, who also is his son, and can just be like, hey, can we try this? Can we add this? Can we change this? And it really makes it such a collaborative process all across the board, and just how often Jim is asking you guys to throw stuff at him. And I just love what we do, and I love that.
So
I love
cool.
this.
I agree, and I noticed that last night too at Rock of Ages rehearsal. We had a choreo rehearsal, and it was the first time that I'd ever seen the choreographer ask the director a question about like what this means,
Cool.
or like
I love that.
how what the choreography can do so that it has an effect on the story. That was the
Yeah.
first time
That's
I'd
so
ever
cool.
seen it like happen right in front of my eyes, because
Yeah.
that's usually like a backstage like process, like
Yeah.
A production
a production conversation, exactly. But that was the first time that I'd seen it, so I'm sure with like having Andrew there, it's like you can really just be like, yeah, sweet, like.
I mean, it's just such a cool like family. Do you know what I mean? Like for Jim to establish this company where his daughter gets to act and like do what she loves to do, and his son gets to be a playwright and do what he loves to do, and to have all of these people like friends, family, and like this golf course like be so supportive to
yes,
the
thank
point
you,
that they've
Dave.
built a permanent stage. Like it just like the name is so like Homebrewed. Like it's just such a
literally is.
true
Yeah.
statement of like who these people are and what they stand for. It really is really cool.
Yeah, and we have so much to thank for Dave LaPierre
Yeah,
Yeah.
big
letting
shout
us
out.
have this space and funding us and building us an entire
his
permanent
backyard.
stage in his backyard,
Literally
right
his
here on the
backyard.
golf course is literally insane. But like we appreciate it so much, and he loves it.
He loves
He
it.
loves
He gets
it
involved.
so
He's in the
much.
shows.
I
Yeah,
know.
He's in the
our
cabarets.
show- He's in our shows. He's in the cabarets, doing the fundraisers with us.
Mhm.
Like, and he just loves it. He comes to almost every rehearsal, even when he's
Mhm.
not called.
Right.
Just to be here,
Yes.
just to say,
Yeah.
hey, what's up? Do you need
With
anything?
Luna pulls up on the golf
Luna.
cart.
Luna.
His dog.
And that's after he wakes up at like 1, 2, 3 in the morning. He's out there watering. He's out there mowing lawns and laying down
Such
seed.
a passionate guy. Like
He
really a passionate
loves what he
guy.
does, and he's just such an inspiration. And we
Yeah.
cannot thank him enough.
Yeah.
Do what you love what you do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
No.
That's what they say,
Exactly.
right?
That's what we're trying to do.
That's what we're trying to do.
That's the goal.
Yeah,
That's the goal.
That's what we're
Right.
trying to do. And I think we've neglected to really say that we are like on the Homebrewed stage right now.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
we
we're on-
we
yeah.
are
Like,
on
we're
the
on the
deck.
deck.
On the
Sitting
deck.
on the deck.
Under the new lights.
Under our
Oh,
new
lights
light.
up.
Yeah.
And we have a new
Everything.
soundboard.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Soundboard coming in
everything-
today. Very exciting. Big ups.
Everything's
Big dub.
shaping up nicely.
Yeah.
Mm.
With the porta-john in the back.
Oh yeah.
Is that gonna be permanent and they just like fade it out?
I don't know. I think it was
I
put
don't
here
know.
for the cabarets.
Yeah, it's put here for
Yeah.
the shows because like we get it for the cabaret, and then we'll have one out front and out back for just us to
Yeah.
use during the shows.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Real private.
Wow, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so like
Innovative.
they get one out there with the audience, and then we get one back there for just us cast,
Yeah.
which is great because
The closest bathroom
Listen,
is
Hey, if you
across
gotta
the
pee-
parking
Yeah.
lot.
we
Gotta
can't be
go
seen
into
running
it.
back to the clubhouse where all the audience can see us in our
Yeah.
costumes.
Wait,
It's
isn't he
too-
in prison? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like both the first and second year, there's
Oh
always
my
a prison scene.
Uh-huh.
Like we can't use the bathroom. So you know what I mean? We're like, oh,
my
dang
God.
it.
Was it you?
It was me.
You can't
There was so
tell the story.
Rachel had to use the bathroom, and
Oh my
And
gosh.
This is really
Yes.
funny.
at the end of intermission, at the end of Act 1, she gets caught into prison. Eloise, I think it must have been
Yeah.
first year.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, how do we?
So we're like, okay, like Rach, how are you using the bathroom? She's like, why don't you? I'll stay tied up, and you walk me to the bathroom, you and Luke with like weapons drawn. And I was just like, well, swords or like, she's like, no, grab the pistol too. So I grabbed the wooden pistol that looks
Oh my
like
god.
semi-real,
I didn't know
and
this.
we didn't tell Robbie.
This
And we're
was
just
really
walking to the
funny.
back,
So funny.
and we're just staying in character because there's kids there. They're loving the whole thing, and we're like, can she use the bathroom? They're like, yeah, sure. And I'm like pretending to like aim the the toy gun
Oh
around.
my god.
And I'm like not even thinking that like, oh, people could think like this is real. I'm like, obviously no, it's like a little wooden toy, but Robbie's
Hey, good for you guys for
Different.
staying in character. That is
right
so
there,
amazing.
and they go and tell them like, he was walking around with the gun. I'm like, whoa, I'm sorry, I'm so
I was like,
sorry,
"Don't worry,
it
it's a
wasn't
prop,
real.
It's a prop.
It's a
I mean,
prop.
I feel that like when I'm doing a show and I have to see any audience member, I'm like I'm still in character. Like when we
Mhm.
start
Oh,
Act 2
so-
of Pippin, I was like coming out there and I
Yeah.
was still in
Oh, yeah, you
character
all
because
did that.
I didn't know who was still in the bathroom or
Mhm.
whatnot. So I was like, I'm not gonna
Even though they're scary, like staying in character is fun to do though. Like
Yeah,
obviously,
it
like,
is.
getting in a whole like
Yeah.
mindset is always fun.
Even off stage or wherever you're supposed to be, it's like
Mhm.
I still get to be this character, and you don't know who I am.
I get to
Yeah.
be a goofball that's
Yeah.
stupid. This is great.
I mean, that was one of my favorite parts of doing Burns.
Oh,
Was for the
yeah.
third act, we got to go under the bleachers while they
Yeah.
like all got on the stage and like did the ritual with the masks.
Yeah.
So getting to see the audience and see how everything was going and like get amped up listening to them all sing.
That's so
Because then
cool.
we were also singing the harmonies under the bleachers. So it was
Yeah,
the
you
best
were.
like hype before getting up on the stage, having to skateboard on.
Oh my God.
That was
That was
crazy.
such a great
But that
show.
was just so
The
cool.
one scene with the skateboard, butthole skateboard, was the best.
Learned how to skate.
Learned how to
For the
get
one
it
scene.
in, get off, and then
Listen,
never use it again.
listen. I won't
Worth
say
it.
I know how to skateboard. I got from point A to point B.
There you go.
I
That's all that
could get
matters.
on the skateboard, push it like twice, and ride it, and then
worth
get
that
off
was,
of it.
That was kind of like Jim being like, "Hey, you can keep the juggling balls over winter break, so you can practice." Wink, wink. And I was like, "Okay, Jim," and then never used them as leading
Perfect.
player.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay,
Now you got the skill.
Yeah.
You can put it on your
I can
resume.
juggle. Hey, oh, I need to. I forgot.
I kinda can juggle.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get
It's
real
not
close.
great, but I can juggle
Yeah.
basically."
You know,
I
I
had the right weighted like
Right.
juggling balls and everything. That maybe that'd be different, but
yeah, juggling is one of those just fun skills that you never know when you'll need it. So if you can do it, throw it on the resume.
Yeah, for
Those
sure.
circus classes were fun though. Taking that with
Oh
Jim
my
and
God,
I did
yeah.
enjoy
for
myself
Pippin.
for
Even
that.
though I wasn't in Pippin, it was just fun to just be like,
There were some.
all right, I got circus class. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go-
Yeah.
I'm
I had
gonna
a
go
ball.
Toss myself around for like
let
an
me go
hour.
throw
like-
myself on the
One
ground.
combo with the
Mm-hmm.
3 people and you dove over each
my
other.
God.
That
It
was
was
funny.
POV,
What,
Jim
monkey
pulling
girls or
Delaney and I
whatever?
to do that, and us having no idea what's going on. He goes, "I'm just gonna jump over you." I was like, "Huh? What are
Okay.
we doing?"
And then we had the rope swing for the last one, which was fun.
Rope.
Mm.
Oh, rope swing. I was promised a rope
You
swing in
were-
Pippin and it
you were
didn't
promised a
happen.
rope swing.
And
Twice, yeah.
twice
Here.
and here,
Here.
and it's not happening.
Man, it's not gonna happen here. I really wish it would.
That's okay.
Because I'm looking up there and it's just
I just want a thrill.
Come on.
Skydiving, anybody?
Huh?
Skydiving, anybody? Dave and I were talking
Dave
last
loves
night.
skydiving.
Oh my
Dave
God,
went
no, thank
skydiving
you.
like 2 weeks ago.
I
He
could
believe it.
never.
Finally.
I'm all set.
I
You
could
know? I'm
never.
all good.
I would
Nope.
love to.
Yeah, I like the Earth from this.
Oh,
movie.
God.
George,
Yep.
so George,
Like,
just me and
let's
you.
do it.
All right,
No,
me
I
and
just
George.
want to dive out of a plane like I'm in
Nope.
48
I
or
can't
something.
handle the anticipation. Like that's what kills me. The like
Yeah.
getting ready, sitting in the plane, going up backwards, and like waiting to jump out. Like
No,
that's
thanks.
what would kill me. And then I think I'd be fine like once the initial free fall was done, you're just kind of going
Yeah.
down. But then again, I'd be shitting bricks if I,
had a
was
hard
waiting
enough
for the
time
parachute.
on the Superman ride at
Really?
Six Flags.
I
Going
love-
down that
oh,
that scared the
listen.
fuck out of me. I don't think I could skydive.
Listen, waiting
I'm
in
just afraid
line.
of heights. I can't help it.
Oh, we
Waiting
do have
in
a funny
line.
story.
Listen, okay. Okay. So I how do I explain this? I'm not a big roller coaster gal, but I'm
Me either,
also
me
a like he wanted to go on the ride at Six Flags, but I was like, you're not going to go on alone. That's so lame. Like, I'm going to go with you. So we get in line the first time, and it starts to downpour. And I, like, hype myself up to get on the ride, and they're still running the ride, even though it's
Oh my
downpouring. And I was like,
God.
you know what? This is kind of going to
Gonna
be
get to the
fun.
top,
We're going to get
it's raining.
soaked. This is awesome. We are literally the next to go on, shuts it down. I was like, no fucking way. So whatever, the rain clears, and he's like, all right, we pass it again. And he's like, you want to go on? I was like, listen, if I'm going on, it's because we're right here right now. I'm not coming down for this ride. So if you want to go, let's go. So we go, and there's this other couple like waiting next to us. I look at my Apple Watch. My heart rate waiting in line is 154 beats per minute. Like, I am like hives. I am bawling.
my
The ride has
God.
not started. I am not even in the seat, and I am bawling, like absolutely bawling. And I like told all these people, I was like, listen, you can make fun of me, you can laugh at me. Like, I know how stupid I look, and I'm not gonna be offended if you laugh at me right now. So we do the ride, whatever. The ride's done. I'm like, that was sick. The couple turns around and goes, oh my God, are you okay? Like, did you make it? I was like, no, I'm good. And my hands were like tingling because I was holding on so tight. uptight and anxious. On the same on planes.
Knuckle.
Yep.
right.
On the same on planes. I went to Iceland after
Oh my God.
graduation with Delaney and Shania.
that.
It was the coolest thing. We like hiked a glacier and saw an
cool.
active volcanoes. It was the coolest
So
thing.
cool.
But again, the plane, I genuinely sobbed. Like
Aw,
absolutely sobbed. Delaney had
maybe-
to hold my hand and make sure that I was fine because I can't do it. Like
Oh my
I'll
goodness.
do it, but I hate it.
Maybe I could do it now.
Motion sick too.
Of course I do.
Oh, yeah.
It's the
Motion
best
sick
combo.
too.
Like, please.
Motion sickness is absolutely the worst. But maybe I could do the Superman now. The last time I went was 4
Mhm.
years ago, and I will say I am a changed person.
Yeah, yeah. Please. No, like
It's not
the
that
first
bad.
time I did it, I was like with somebody that was super anxious, so I was busy
Oh,
helping them.
Mm.
So I never got to process what
Right.
I was
were
feeling,
distracted.
and then I went on
Valid.
alone. And I was like, "Oh shit! Like I don't want to do this right now."
Meanwhile, I'm on the ride with my fists up.
He's
I'm
like, "Look over the side! Look it! We're so high!" I'm like, "Don't!"
I'm like singing it with it.
I'm like, "Keep your head inside, please."
We're going up. If you've never been to the one in Springfield, you're going up,
so
and on the
high.
right side's the park, and you're like, all right, whatever. On the left,
my
there's
God.
water, so I'm going up. I'm like,
Oh my
if
God.
this stops and I gotta jump, I can make it.
I'm like, "Stop
I'm
talking!
like confident. She's like, shut
Stop
up.
talking!"
I'm like, just in case.
I'm like, "Just tell me when we're near the top. Are we close?" He's like, "We're halfway." I was like, "Oh!"
well, before it was
bad.
Superman, it was Bizarro,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't play the
Right.
Superman theme song, obviously. So on the way up, they were blasting Eminem, so all you heard was dun 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 dun. dun. I'm like, when is he coming in? He's never coming in. You get to the top, and you're just like, whoosh, and you're gone. Yeah.
The craziest part about that ride is the drop and then immediately going back up and doing the same
Yeah.
drop. And you're like, "Oh my God." Like you just don't get a second to collect yourself at all.
Let's not talk about why they name changed it like 7 times. But
Yeah,
anyway.
because people die.
The first time, at least. I don't know. I think they changed
Yeah.
Oh my
it.
Which one
God.
was this?
So the
The biggest one at Six Flags, New England, in the back of the park.
I
What
don't
was
know.
it called before?
So it was first Superman, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
because who knew Bizarro before Superman, obviously.
Right.
And I guess what
Wow.
happened was because it's such a fast ride, some kid dropped his hat or something. I don't know if this is true, if this is a
Yeah.
conspiracy, but kid dropped his hat in the ride, and he went to go get it, like
hopped
top the
over.
fence.
Oh.
Boom!
Oh.
And they were like, "What? We got to change the name because it's the world's largest metal
Yeah.
roller coaster." It was at the time, I think, like 2002 or something.
Oh my God.
So they changed it to Bizarro. It was Bizarro for the
I
longest
remember when it
time.
was Bizarro
Yeah.
because I was like, oh, I want to go on that. I wasn't tall enough the first time I went to Six Flags,
Oh,
man.
no.
but it's fine.
Yeah. So then they made a Bizarro, and then I think the New Jersey one opened up a Bizarro ride or what? Something happened, the rights or something. So they changed it back to Superman,
Mm.
and they did it like multiple times or something.
It's so funny because every time they change the name, they also repaint
Yeah.
the roller
Yeah.
coaster
Repaint it.
as if it changes the roller
Gotta
coaster.
change the branding, bro.
Purple and yellow back to red, yellow, and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Come
like,
on.
all right.
Safety of the roller coaster doesn't change.
No, there's new paint though.
An unsafe roller coaster is still an unsafe roller coaster, no matter what color it is.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
ride's awesome. I haven't heard anything bad about it now. The ride next to it's called like Supergirl, and it's like some spinny ride.
Catwoman.
No,
Oh, no, 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 no,
The
no.
Catwoman whip.
that one's
The
fun.
Catwoman whip,
love
that's
that one.
funny.
Speaking of motion sickness, that Supergirl ride. I remember the first time I got sick was at Canopy Lake Park. And it was the
I love
starfish,
Canopy.
and I was like, I've never got motion sick. This is great. I will never go on a spinny ride the same ever again. It's the starfish. It's just a.
It's like
spinny
the
ones that,
frisbee.
go up like this.
It's like the
Oh,
huge
yeah.
circle everybody sits.
No, not
and
that one.
Oh,
Is that zero gravity?
Ultimate Frisbee.
I have a story about Ultimate Frisbee.
Okay.
Oh God.
So I have a friend who went to Lowell with me, and we competed in show choir together.
Hey, show choir, shout out.
Yeah. And she worked at Canopy Lake.
Okay.
Now, mind you, Canopy Lake, if you don't know Canopy Lake Park, it's like a New England staple. It's
Yeah.
like, it's a poor man's Six Flags.
There's like 3
Even
roller
the poor
coasters.
man
It's
can't
not
afford
total.
it.
Yeah.
Don't go saying that.
Well, no, because I was the same way. I was going to Canopy Lake, you know, like.
We were bringing our Pepsi cans to get the discount, all right?
Yeah,
'Cause it's on the back of
yeah.
all the Pepsi
No,
cans.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I was right there with you.
But you're right.
So going to Canopy Lake Park, they had the Ultimate Frisbee, which
Mm-hmm.
was a spinning ride that would swing back and forth, but you'd also be
Brutal.
spinning at the same time.
no.
It's
Yes,
if you know Six
exactly
Flags, it's
that.
the same thing as Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Canopy Lake
wait, I
had
went on that.
no safety measures whatsoever,
No.
and the most broken
Never.
ride, was the Ultimate Frisbee.
Mm.
the power went out.
What?
On the ultimate frisbee, and the braking system stopped.
No.
So people
Oh my
were going
God.
spinning like this
Oh, like
an hour
No
and
way.
a half.
stop.
An
Stop.
hour
Stop.
and a half.
Ethan.
Momentum? Like
Dude, it's
That's
Because
crazy.
it's like it's still like a motor mechanism like at the top that if it's not, it's like a car. If it
Yeah.
like
Right, right, right.
Was it
object in
going
motion will
upside
stay in
down?
motion.
No.
Ethan, was it going upside
Holy
down? Do you know, or was it just like swinging?
No, it just swings.
I
It
was gonna say,
doesn't.
probably
It
doesn't
I
doesn't
think
go
I'd be
upside
okay
down
if it
at
was
all.
just swinging.
Yeah, it
but
just
if it was
swings.
spinning
Oh
like
my
this, you know
God.
everybody's throwing up.
Well, yeah, it's spinning like this, but also swinging back and forth at
Oof.
the same time.
Ugh.
No, absolutely not.
That's insane.
Yeah.
No.
That is nuts.
Yeah, those rides. I'm not one for those rides.
No.
You know, call me a wimp, call me a pussy, call me what you will.
I'm in the same boat. No,
That's-
thank you.
Yeah.
No,
I
thank you.
can't, you know, like you, like I just. This is really embarrassing. I just went on Space Mountain, like for the first time when I was
Okay, I
21.
was expecting so much
Space
more from
Mountain
that. Like,
is
to-
a little crazy in the
Really?
dark.
I was
Yeah.
expecting so much more because I heard such crazy things about Space Mountain. When I went on it, I was like kind of disappointed. But I
Yeah.
think it might have been because I went on Tower of Terror before I went on it.
I haven't gone
So
on
you
that
go
got
on
a
yet.
Tower of
Terror
Terror
story.
and you're screaming your brain out of your ears, and you go onto Space Mountain. You're like,
Were the lights on
Where-
when you went? Because I guess for a while.
No.
Okay,
it
for
was dark.
they've been putting the lights on in the
Yeah.
dark.
In
I-
the dark, it's
terrifying in the dark.
I
loved
just,
it, though.
I didn't. I was like, I was definitely like aware of the fact that
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was like fast and it was like going up and down. But I think because it was so dark,
Mhm.
I was like, because they have the light up things in
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
so you can
Mhm.
kind of see. But because it was so dark, all I could feel was my body moving, and I
Yeah.
wasn't like really scared or anything.
Ready? The first
But I remember
time.
having to pee so bad when I went on that ride. So
Yes.
I'm surprised.
You
I
wait
did
for a
not.
It's a
long
I'm
time.
surprised I
ride.
did not piss
It's a
myself.
long
Listen. I went to Disney in 4th grade for the first time, and my parents surprised us. Knowing I don't like roller coasters, they thought it would be smart to get a fast pass for Space Mountain, so
Aw,
we didn't
man.
know what we were getting ourselves into.
Yeah, right.
So we get a fast pass. We walk up to like go into the line, not even in it. And I was like, "Is this a roller coaster?" Absolutely not. And my parents were like, "No, it's just an inside ride." And I was like, "This is a roller coaster." My parents, me at like 10 years old, my parents walked me to the front of the park with my brother who's in 2nd grade. They said, "You're getting on this roller coaster, or we are going home now."
Oh.
And I was like,
Not the old
"No, please." So I go on the roller coaster, white knuckled, get off the ride, ready to pass out again. And then we go to do test track after, and I'm
Love it.
sobbing.
Test track.
I was like, "This is another roller coaster," and it wasn't. I enjoyed myself very much on test track. But my parents, I wouldn't trust them for the rest of the time I was there. Then Tower of Terror.
Oh!
We went to Tower. We went in 2019 with his dad and his 2 siblings
When?
to Disney. 2019 and like
When?
Christmas
I
time.
went too.
December.
Oh,
Like Christmas.
Oh, I remember. Never mind.
And his dad was really great and like paid for me to go on this trip. I don't like rides. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a great sport and I'm going to go on all these rides. I
Gonna
was
give it
like,
the old
I'm not
college
going to
try.
sit here and sit on a bench while you wait in line for an hour and a half. Like, I was like, I'm not going to enjoy.
sister's ex-boyfriend. My sister's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah,
sat there the
he
whole
sat there the whole
Oh,
time, and I was like, I'm not
boring.
doing that. So we're in line at Disney
Right,
World.
like, what?
Listen, we're in line for Tower of Terror again. Heart pumping. We get up to the front, and I've done like this drop ride at Six Flags, and like I was fine. Like I'm good with that. So I was like, okay, it's a drop ride. I'll be fine. We get up, and then the doors open. It's not our turn yet. I see that it's just like a waist seatbelt with no like handles other than like little ones by the sides of your seat, and that it's enclosed, and I lost my crap. Like started bawling. George is like, "We don't need to go on this ride. It's fine." And I was like, "No, I'm going on this ride. I've waited this long. I'm going." So we get on this ride, and I absolutely sob the entire time. And we're doing the drop thing, whatever. And you know how at the end of the ride, like the screen comes on. It's like, ooh, like you're done. The screen comes on, and he goes, "Okay, it's done." And it shoots us back up
Mhm.
all the way to the top and drops us again. And I didn't even know what to do with myself. And then we went to Universal and went on the Jurassic Park ride, and it was a water ride. Listen, I didn't know there was an 80-foot drop. So we
my
go on the
God.
ride, and all these people are coming off soaked. We're at the front of the line, and I'm like, what's going on with this? What's going on? And we're like on the
Oh
water
my
ride. I was like, all right,
God.
this is cool. And then the stupid doors open to go inside, and I just see this huge like.
T-Rex.
I was like, no way, this is about to happen right.
Terrifying.
Listen, I again lost my crap.
Oh
That
my
entire
God.
trip,
I've
lost
I've
it.
not been to Universal, so I've never been on
Really?
that ride.
Me
No, I've
either.
never been. I've
The
only
Hulk
ever
roller
done
coaster
Disney.
there,
Oh my God.
great.
Amazing.
His
I've
sister's
been to
the
Disney.
Hulk. His sister's boyfriend blacked out.
Oh my God.
On the shop.
Black. I enjoyed that one a lot. I cried the whole time in line, but I
Oh my
really
God.
liked that roller
I've
coaster.
been to Disney twice. The first time was when I was 12, and I remember going on the Tower of Terror. We had to. My parents were like, you have to try every ride at least once. You
Right.
know? So we went on the Tower of Terror. I will admit I was terrified of that ride, but I did
Yeah.
voluntarily go on it 2 more times afterwards.
Valid.
Um,
Yeah.
But the image forever burned in my brain is when you're at the very top and the doors open and all you can see is like
the park.
the park, and it's just you see that and it's like just that's burned into my brain. Like I can vividly imagine that right now, but I that was terrifying. And then I remember expecting the same thrill from the drop in Splash Mountain,
No.
Mhm.
but it wasn't the same. But it was still
Yeah.
fun, especially on those really hot days. And I'm excited to see how they changed it to Tiana's.
Oh yeah, they started doing
About
that.
you
The
adventure.
Voodoo Man better be.
Oh
where the
my
drop is.
God.
Are you
I-
ready?
I will
Like,
say-
come on.
That has to be. It has to
Yes,
be.
yes.
Come,
I was.
Disney executives.
I
come on.
did Disney Bound the second time that I went because I was like, it was my graduation present. That's what I wanted to do was go to Disney, and so I was
Me
like,
too.
no, it was for high school graduation, and we went for 5 days, and so I did a different character each day, and one of the
Fun.
days was the Voodoo Man, Dr. Facilier, because I was like, he's one of my favorite characters. I love Princess and the Frog. Nobody knew who I was, and I was like, I did the
man.
teeth and everything. Like I carved my own teeth out of wood, like
Whoa.
beads, because
Cool.
I was like, I want to do this, but I can't find that shit anywhere. So I carved it myself, and I like made a chain out of it.
That's awesome.
And I like did this Disney Bound thing, and it was like lame, but also I was excited. So like, but
cool.
nobody knew who I was. And then I did Maleficent one day, nobody knew who I was. But
Really?
they got the Lilo, the Belle, and the Ariel,
Yeah.
which I dyed my hair red for
Oh my
just
goodness.
because I wanted to do Ariel at Disney. So I'm crazy, a little bit crazy, I will say.
Well, I went 2 years after we went that year. Like my dad loves going all the time.
I wanna go
And I went with my
Makes me
friends,
wanna
like
go so
my
bad.
childhood friends, and we drove down. Which you have to drive somewhere once. Like you have to drive somewhere once fall.
I've driven
For
down.
sure.
But
We
do it with
did- we
friends.
did
Don't
the
do it with your
drive.
family.
That's it.
I've done it with my family.
We
twice.
drove down the first time because we went to my aunt's wedding in South Carolina, so we drove to South Carolina, and then we did the 8-hour drive to Disney.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's a
it
good
wasn't
way to
bad at
break it
all.
up.
Yeah.
It was so fun. It was so much fun. Like we stopped at like the most random places. But when we got down there, we were like, well, Hollywood Studios, because now
sure.
they have the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. They have
Galaxy's
all the
Edge.
I
stuff.
want to go back.
Just before all the Marvel stuff was actually going to go there because they had that whole license with Universal.
Yep.
So we're
I
like,
went
let's
right
do
before
this.
Star Wars opened.
Really? Yeah,
Because
we
I went in
went-
2019, but it was right before Galaxy's Edge opened.
We got
and
there
I was
right at
so
open.
mad.
Yeah. So we go to Tower of Terror. My best friend Shane is awesome. Like he's usually like, yeah, I'm a tough guy, but like little things will happen. And the same thing happens on Tower of Terror, and he's just like, nothing bad happening, right? And he's closing his eyes, and he's just like, is it done yet? And this kid in front of him goes, yeah, it's done. And then it drops, and he goes, you little bitch! And it drops.
Oh my god.
I like want to go to California. I have a coworker in California right now doing that one because they've themed it to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Avengers Campus.
Yeah, like I want to do that so bad. I bought Loki
for sure.
ears, lightsabers. Like I've done all that stuff, but like
I keep begging my boyfriend to go. I'm like, can we please go to Disney? He's
Yeah.
like, we can go to Disneyland.
right, because it's like
Because
I want to do
Florida's a
that.
I
scary
want
place
to go
right now.
to California once.
Yeah, like that fast, like you were saying earlier with Fast Track. Like I
Oh,
love Fast
yeah,
Track because you build the
yeah.
car. But
So
even then,
cool.
like I think that's kind of like rigged. It's like he just does
It's
whatever.
gimmicky.
It is.
But the
yeah.
Cars one is so
My car
cool.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But the Cars one in Disneyland is so cool because you're driving
oh my
around
God, did
as
you guys go on
lightning.
Pandora?
Yo,
Yeah.
okay,
Oh
okay,
my
yes.
God.
How did-
Probably
oh my
one
God.
of the best rides I have ever been on. I was so
The Flight
obsessed.
of
So
Passage?
so we went on it right before closing. So we got in line right before closing So they were like, okay, everybody who's in line now is fine.
That's a long line.
Nobody else can get in line. And we were like not even, we were maybe halfway through the line. And then when we finally got in there, that's such a cool ride.
It's like a
because
cool
the
walkthrough.
The
Yeah.
fucking thing breathes. You're holding on to this object and you're like,
I
the
usually
seat
don't
that
like
you're
the
on,
4D rides.
It's supposed to like mimic the breathing of the
It
creature that you're riding on.
simulates
I don't know
So
what
then,
it's
like,
called.
Becoming an avatar
Yeah,
and
and
riding a
it is
banshee.
it is
Yeah.
I
so
love James
so
Cameron's
cool.
Avatar.
It was so cool. And then we got out, and Animal Kingdom is completely empty because nobody else is
Yeah.
in the park. Everything
Pandora
is
at
glowing. It is
Mhm.
so cool,
It's
and
so
it was
cool.
like we took our time walking out of
Yeah, yeah,
Animal
good.
Kingdom because
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
we have to leave, but it's so quiet. Everything is glowing,
It's
and
so
it was.
That's the thing about
amazing.
Universal and the 4D rides. Like the 4D ride, that
ride's
Pandora's
cool.
like, what's it called in Magic Kingdom where it's like the big screen and you're going through all this. I forgot what it's called. The main ride that everyone knows. Soarin'.
It's in Epcot.
Soarin'. Not Magic
Oh
Kingdom.
yeah.
It's like that with a big screen and you're going, but like. Usually I'm like, oh, whatever. Like the Disney ones are great. You go to Universal, you're right. You're doing. Oh, I don't know about you. You're driving down with Vin Diesel, doing Fast and the Furious, and there's just screens on your side, and they're like screaming at you, and the
Oh my
car's
God.
just going like this. It's like, whatever.
I
The
get
one,
sick
yeah.
on all
There's a
4D.
King Kong one,
my God.
and like that one's insane too. But
That
they're all the
one's
same
amazing.
thing, just different screens.
Um,
I'm like, come on. At least the Pandora one, like you
Lame.
feel it, like you said. It's like.
Oh my God,
really
I think
different.
it was such a weird feeling because you're like they have you like basically you're
Yeah,
on
you're-
this thing
you're
and
like
you're like
hunched.
really tight.
It's like the Tron one.
Yeah, you're like
kinda
you're in a really
Yeah, it's
weird
like
position
Tron.
because you're like really close and like hugging the
For what
the
ride?
thing
The
for
Pandora.
the Pandora. So
Flight
you
of
can
Passage,
feel
yeah.
everything. So if like you're sitting up and you're like barely holding onto the handles, you're not gonna like get the same experience
Right.
as if you're like hugging the
Yeah,
like
because then something
hugging the
comes
thing.
up behind you.
'Cause it-
Yes.
it-
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Kind of pushes you forward.
And
so
it
you have to
moves.
hug
It moves against your legs, so you can like feel the breathing.
That's why I want to do the
It's
Tron
so-
one because the
it's
Tron
just
one you have to
so
ride it like a bike.
Yeah, dude, the
Yeah.
Tron
Yeah.
coaster
I
looks
want it,
awesome.
But I will cry.
Well, it's the same with Rock and Roller Coaster. Like she.
Oh my God,
Love
they're changing
rock
that
and
too.
roll.
That's
They're
changing the
retheming it.
Queen.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
ch-
it is
it's
changing
'cause
the Queen.
The
Queen.
contract with Aerosmith is up, so they're changing it to a Queen
Yeah.
ride.
Listen,
No, they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
They are.
wish I
You know that?
so
Yeah, it was-
badly wish.
So good, right?
I know.
Listen, Rock
It
and
was
Roller
announced a
Coaster
couple months ago.
is the other ride that like
Oh my
while I'm in
God.
line, I'm sobbing.
Haven't
But
been
as
on it.
soon as we take off, I love my life.
I'm not
It
a
is
big
the
coaster, dude.
listen, but it's like
I
this
think that was
roller
the first
coaster.
one I went on. when I
You
went to
shoot
Disney.
off at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like,
It's 0 to
immediately.
60 in
But then you
2.8.
immediately go upside down and you're just cruising and everything's in black light.
I don't
It's
like
the
the upside down.
coolest thing.
And you got
can't
Aerosmith
tell which
blasting in your
direction you're
ears.
That's so
going.
cool.
It's just- it's a
And the speakers built into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
seat, so you're just like listening
Just
to
One
it.
of
jamming
my
out.
favorite things about Disney rides, except for the Yeti that you feel a drop in, you don't feel really any drops in any of the
Love Mount
roller
Everest.
coasters, so it's just a good time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's really really cool.
Oh my God. Don't stop.
Yeah, dude, I can see it right now.
It's a good time.
You're a shooting star. Like I can just see that happening. Yeah, right. But so like all this stuff about Disney, it's like I know like the Disney college programs down there,
Mhm.
and
I was
you
denied.
you were denied.
They
Sadly.
rejected me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So I have to wait. I think when
said
did I
there's a
apply?
time limit?
I applied
Yeah.
in February or March, so I have to wait until at least August or September to reapply.
Oh, that's not too. That's not
It's
too
a
long.
6 month, but it was like they rejected me, and I was like, okay.
But that whole thing's interesting too because I know we knew a few people down there right now,
Yeah.
and like that's like not a hit or miss. Like you go and you'll be characters, but like it's fun for an experience because you get an apartment. Like I know
I don't even care.
Kelsey's down there. Kelsey's doing it.
I'll
and
do
she
anything.
yeah like people like I'd probably do anything.
I will do
they pay your rent and
anything to
everything.
work at Disney.
It's just so fun. Yeah, they give you money for like food and stuff, but I think
You just get
You
park
you
ticket.
get like
something
don't
like
know.
I
that.
don't pay for absolutely
the
Everything.
the pay
Yeah.
is kind of low, but they provide like the rooming and stuff. I think you have to buy your own food.
Right.
Yeah.
Kelsey is friends with one of the chipmunks. I think. I don't
Oh,
know if she's Chipperdale.
That's so funny.
Mhm.
I never saw
She's
that movie.
friends
The new
with
one.
Chipperdale.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just such an interesting
The
opportunity.
special code.
Well, because like
Special
Luke was auditioning for Disney Paris, and it's like that's just such a unique.
Right,
I almost did because I was like, that would be so much fun, but I don't know French and I don't really want to
But
go
that's-
there without
go
knowing.
on
Like, I know there's-
Duolingo.
I know there's like
Learn all
I'm
French.
learning Spanish, but I don't want to like go there and not be able to speak French,
Yeah.
you know, because I know a lot of people that go there know English,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like I want to be able to
Yeah, no, I
I
got
don't know.
it.
I don't want to go somewhere and be like, oh, they know English. It's fine. It's like I
Yeah,
want to
you
be
don't
able to
wanna
like
assume.
speak
Right.
the
Well, like,
language.
Going back to when I was in Iceland, they prefer to speak in English. Like they pride themselves on speaking English.
Oh, really?
I
So
mean, some
like
places
you don't
are
have
like
to
that.
speak Icelandic at all. Like it's not required. They're just like, "Hello, what can I get you?" And you're like, "Oh,
You're like, okay.
okay."
Yeah.
Like they're the sweetest people.
Aw,
Sweetest in Iceland.
that's so cute.
Yeah, traveling would be fun. I don't know. I
Oh,
just think
I
of
wanna travel.
all this stuff.
I want to go to all the Disneys.
That's what I'm
'Cause
saying,
there's
like,
Hong
that's so
Kong,
cool.
Paris,
Yeah.
They have all the different
I would
rides.
like
think
to
there's
say
one in Beijing.
Robbie is also wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt right
That's
now.
true.
I am
so-
also
You
coincidentally
are.
wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt.
Peace,
We
Mickey.
did not plan to talk about Disney,
No,
but
we
here we
didn't.
are.
No, here we are. But like, we want to go to Greece
This podcast was
again.
supposed to be about daughters, and we did
We did.
talk about daughters,
did.
and then
We
we
did.
went roller coasters and
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah.
You know what?
But
It's
yeah.
fine. It's
Hey
fine.
man, we talk about anything and everything.
We're literally shooting
We
the
are
shit.
shooting the shit. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, to kind of wrap things up,
wrap it up.
come see Daughters with Daggers in August. What are the dates?
August 10, 11,
10, 11,
12,
12,
and 17, 18,
17, 18,
19.
19, the second and third weekends.
And come see all these amazing people here.
Mhm.
Mwah.
Heather, George, and Ange, thank you so much
So much.
for being here at Shooting the Shit. We really appreciate it.
Thank
And
you
I
guys.
miss
Yeah, thank you guys for
get
having
miss you
to
too.
see us all the time.
I know.
But I miss the
I
ever
know, I
living
miss
fuck
hanging
out
out
of you
Miss
guys.
you
It
guys.
was nice
yeah.
to see you last weekend.
Yeah.
I know.
Please come see Daughters with Daggers in August, and come see Rock of Ages the weekend after.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're all gonna make a homebrewed trip, and
Yeah.
we'll
Let's do it.
We'll fill
That'd
the,
be awesome.
the fire barn.
I'll try to.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having us.
Of course, and with that, this has been
Shooting the Shit with Beefy
and Bobbie.